Hi friends, and for those that are new here, I'm Pätrick. I'm exploring a year of plant-based wellness and how it intersects with my personal growth, my little family here at home, and the communities I navigate in and around. So normally I do a little bit of a series with planting and working in garden spaces for personal growth and mental wellness. But I have been working on a little bit of a project of looking at the metadata recently of focusing on certain aspects of what plant-based wellness is. How are the ads that are being fed back to me? How are they grouped and categorized and how they're thrown back to me? And I can largely think that they're put into 5 general categories, and then they have their own niches within these categories, with some that even may overlap with characteristics of another. And I was scrolling through Instagram recently and I came across this ad, but then I kept going and I came across this ad and I kept going. But then the third time around, the Ryze Superfoods ad stuck out to me, and it sank in that this was an ad geared towards me. I have been doing a lot of research in the last couple months about psilocybin and fungus growth with both the psilocybin itself, but also cultivating mushrooms in my garden beds and how to particularly do that in a perennial zone 5 climate. I have been looking up sleep issues with caffeine and vitamin D and CBD, and I thought to myself, why have I not looked at other things that sort of pans out what the caffeine's surge and, I don't know, fallout is for somebody throughout the day. And I will say that when I think about what sort of stabilizes that energy and that momentum to kickstart and ready your day, I think about matcha a lot. Even though I don't really care for it in general, I also don't necessarily think that I experience matcha in that type of way of this stabilizes my energy level or my alertedness throughout the day. I don't know if I would pair that with what matcha does for me. But looking at this, I see that it pairs medicinal aspects about fungus with the morning routine of engaging with coffee. So I decided to order it. And by the magic of TV, my Ryze Superfoods mushroom coffee is here. And I will say that looking at the ads and even looking at the site, after I was waiting for it to arrive, I began to sort of question about what exactly it was and how it blended with the medicinal aspects of these blended mushroom species with it. And I thought to myself,
is this an instant coffee?
Because I know that medium from baking in the kitchen, but as far as drinking coffee, we always tend to grind or press beans in the morning with hot water. So I am not quite sure how this is. Is it going to taste like mushrooms? Is it going to be off? Is it going to be jarring in the aspect of what matcha is for me? It is not a coffee substitute. Not that matcha is supposed to be a coffee substitute, that's not what I'm saying. But this pairs itself is marketed as a coffee incense. So I'm wondering how much of this is going to taste different. As we can see, it comes exactly labeled of what it is. And I will say it's cute, it's shiny, it's glossy, it's simple. I like it. Let's open it up and find out what exactly it is. All right, so environmentally conscious, hey, reuse me. So this box is sturdy, it's pretty, and yeah, why not reuse it for something? I love that. That's already a great kudos to this company and how it's thinking forward in purposing itself with reusable materials. The next thing that's in here is the ingredient list. I don't know why I put air quotes. This is the ingredient list. So there is a bunch of varieties that I'm not familiar with. I am familiar with lion's mane turkey tail. Turkey tail is the variety that I was thinking of that has a lot of immuno boosting qualities to it. So turkey tail, lion's mane I'm familiar with. Reishi, shiitake I'm familiar with. But I don't really know much about king trumpet or cordyceps. Yeah. And then there's coffee for energy. Oh, it says what they're all for. For stamina, for focus, for digestion, inflammation, immunity. So this is cute and simple. Has a cute little spoon. And now the coffee itself. Let me go boil some water. All right, so on the back it says, our blend enhanced with functional mushrooms and MTC delivers calm energy that promotes focus, productivity, adrenal health, and yes, happiness. Our ingredients have been studied for thousands of years and found to enhance brain function, boost immunity, and give balanced energy that keeps you shining all day long, all with less than half the caffeine of a cup of coffee. Again, it lists the 6 mushroom varieties that's blended in here. It says suggested use, drink daily. Over time, the adaptogens in our blend will balance your body and mind. Use 2 servings per day for the first week to accelerate results. So that won't be a problem. I am a 2 to 3 cups of coffee type of person anyway. All right, so it just says about 8 ounces of hot water to 1 tablespoon or little scoop of Ryze. You can ice it down as well if you're gay. And you can add a creamer, which is what it is. Let me go get my water. All right, so I think what I'm most curious about is if this is instant coffee. I feel like if it's just add a scoop and stir, then clearly that's what this is. Which is a first for me in just drinking. So what this smells like is not coffee. It smells like what is that smell? It's a familiar smell and I can't quite place it. It does smell a little earthy, which I would subscribe to mushrooms. It does not smell like mushroom. But this smells like something so familiar. So I am not quite sure if this is going to pick up, but I will. So it does. It's got like a sandy quality to it in texture. And it tastes like the smell of instant coffee now. So it still smells like whatever this familiar smell is that's not coffee, but it tastes like the smell of instant coffee, if that makes sense. So, in the spirit of mushroom coffee, I will say visually, this looks like a broth, like a brown broth. I don't know what that smell is. Okay, it does not taste like mushroom. It doesn't taste like coffee either. It tastes like it's this comforting smell. I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna look back on this footage and be like, oh, how did you not think that right away? Because there's something nostalgic about this for me. That I'm having very comforting feelings about it, but I also can't place it. It does not taste like mushroom. I'm not quite sure if I've said that yet, but it does not. It does not taste like coffee, but what does it taste like? I don't know. So because this does ask you to give it a trial run for a period of time, that is exactly what I am going to do. One, because I perfectly timed out running or lazily did not pick up more coffee from the store. And I'm going to stick with this as my morning routine for a week. And I know that probably after a couple of days, there's going to be a little bit of a noticeable change to me one way or the other, but I'm going to be curious to see if I have a headache from not giving myself the surge of caffeine that I normally do in the morning, as well as seeing if I do notice a little bit of a even-keeled, homogeneous energy level throughout the day. And I will film that. So I might insert a couple of my thoughts between now and the end of the week here. So it is day 4 with my Ryze mushroom coffee. I've added a little bit of cream to it today, and it's making a world of difference in adjusting to it. But I will say yesterday, day 3, was like, oh, okay, I get this. I'm into this now. So I think I'm going to explore different dairy additives like soy and almond milk and see how that goes. Hey, so I am actually drinking this Ryze mushroom coffee this evening as I'm doing some editing, and I wanted to pop on and make a quick note that there is like a thicker medium that is left, sort of like you get with most cups of coffee, but again, it's just a little bit thicker. So immediately I thought to myself, oh, this is very clearly mushroom fiber that's left over, but then I didn't want to assume things. So I ended up messaging Ryze on Instagram, and within like a minute, they got back to me and sort of confirmed that that's what that was. And I just thought that, I'm sure it's not everyone's experience, but the fact that they got back to me almost in real time, well, not almost, in real time they got back to me, was super swell and great. And I thought I should include that in this video. So back to the rest. All right, so it has actually been, I want to say 10 days since I first started folding in my Ryze instant mushroom coffee, or my more than just coffee superfood. But I wanted to share, I don't think I vlogged a whole lot of thoughts about this because my thoughts were constantly evolving. And I will say that after just a couple of days of doing straight hot water to the mushroom coffee mix, that I started to incorporate with like dairy or dairy substitutes. And I think that between the almond milk and the oat milk and then just regular coffee creamer that I'm used to, I think I found a balance that I like, which is really just the splash of creamer. Nothing extra that I have to go to the store for, like almond milk, which is how I am enjoying it this evening. Now, adjusting after about a week and a half of using this in complete swap out with regular coffee, I don't know if this is a permanent substitution for me. I have grown to like it. I still don't know what the smell reminds me of, like what is that nostalgic thing. But I have a feeling it will come to me eventually. And if there is a vlog a month from now where I'm just like, remember that mushroom coffee mix? It smells like blank. I'm going to include that once I figure it out. But I will say that this is something that I think I'm going to definitely continue with. I am going to go back to coffee, but instead of my like 2 to 3 cups throughout the day, I might just do 1 single cup of coffee and then 1 cup of coffee of my Ryze mushroom coffee. I have come to really enjoy this. I haven't really noticed any of the health benefits, but you know, immunology is complicated and it's not something you can necessarily feel after a week and a half. And most diet substitutions don't really take noticeable effects until anywhere from 2 weeks on the short end of things to up to 2 to 3 months. I would say that that's a average amount for gut health to take to adjust in any homogenized or equalized balance of new versus old gut composition. But I will just say that as far as the recommendations through the algorithm related to what metadata I'm putting on my computer, this was a great recommendation. It was not something I was going to seek out for myself, and I've come to really enjoy this. I think that if you are following and engaging with me on this platform in relation to overall better personal growth and mindfulness and health or plant-based wellness things that I'm focusing on this year, this is something that you should probably give a go. I think that it is worth giving it its, asked for a week adjustment and see how you feel, see if you've come to like it, and see if it's a good replacement. I was expecting a little bit of a headache transition from giving up coffee altogether to relying on this, and I will say that I did not have that experience. So if you're worried about any sort of side effect from just switching from one thing to the other, you could also do it your own way. You could have 1 less cup of regular coffee and then replace your second or third with this coffee. And that's what I'm planning on doing moving forward. And I think that's my recommendation, is if you are an avid coffee drinker and you want to try something else but don't want to give up coffee because you actually enjoy coffee, do both. So I'm going to end my little video here. I want to encourage you to do something kind for yourself today, whether that's exploring something you can be indulgent with that you might not have worked into your diet beforehand. Explore something new and fun and think about what might be a good new thing to just a simple addition into your diet plan. And remember to keep growing from where you are, and I will share more with you soon. Tschüss!